You know, these Microsoft exams that are, for its various software, they yield credentials that are recognized worldwide. Some companies double up as on-site learning centers for specialized training of certain staff. There are impressive knowledge production sites outside of the university system, such as the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research and the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Kevin Carey, the Policy Director of Education Sector, an independent think tank, sees that, and I quote, "the next generation of online education could be great for students and catastrophic for universities." Just as Craigslist's online classified advertisements have dealt a big blow to American newspapers, so will online education providers, he says, dislodge the less prestigious universities in the coming future. Now, the other, more pernicious danger arises from the fierce competition among the values of the market, equity, and quality. The tension among these values is certainly not new, but I think the intensity is. The tug of war has far-reaching impact on the process of higher education and how universities are managed. Of these values, the market is the newest entrant, threatening to displace quality and equity from their time-honored position in academia. By quality, I mean the value that is tethered to merit, that upholds knowledge, not profit, as the university's enduring purpose, and excellence and integrity as its overriding principles. By equity, I refer to the belief that education is a public good, essential to the individual and the larger society. Questions of access and space for ethnic, racial, linguistic, gender, and income diversities are central to the discourse of equity. The last century witnessed the coming together of both values. We saw, for example, how the traditional ivory tower model of the university, knowledge for its own sake, was reshaped by the demand of equity for relevance. Higher education today is conscious of the imperative to both produce knowledge and help solve social and global problems. In many universities in the world, including the finest, merit-based admissions have accommodated equity considerations without overturning academic standards. But the market is a different thing altogether. And here I refer to a mindset or a culture that treats education as a commodity to be traded rather than as a source of learning or a public good. This view has mutated, but the end result is the overemphasis on the instrumental function of education, just a means to a job, at the expense of the larger purpose of human and social development. The effects of a market perspective are sweeping. Universities, and you see this all over the world, are run more and more in the manner of executive management, as deans and other academic leaders are urged to become entrepreneurial. Faculty members are judged on their ability to draw in grants and research funds. Programs in schools rise and fall with market demand, as we first saw in IT schools decades ago in our country and now in nursing. And meanwhile, unmarketable disciplines like mine suffer from near zero freshman entrants through UP admissions. Is the market altogether bad? No, that's not what I'm saying. Academic collaboration with industry, for example, can be mutually rewarding, and universities can adopt guidelines on industry-commissioned research to safeguard scholarly standards, scientific integrity, and ethical practice. But when its essential values undermine ours, then the market becomes bad for us. And sometimes it seems to me we are not even conscious of how a market-oriented thinking has seeped into academic life. Lowering standards to make our courses popular, that is marketable, is an example of this attitude. Like politics, the market doesn't understand what academia is all about, that our institution is unique and the nature and manner of our work are different. I'll return to this point soon. Now move on to the national landscape, okay? Not long, because I told you I didn't want to bear too much, but okay. So, we're still in Germany. Ruel! Dina, Did you give this guy coffee last night or what? Hindi talaga natulog, Roel. I love you, but darling. Okay, so these are the private and public HEIs, and then the next slide goes to the public HEIs by type. Okay, now look how the CHED, you know them. SUC, Chartered Public HEI, established by Congress. LUC, established by local government. CHED supervised, it's a non-chartered institution established by law, but administered, etc., financed. Okay, and OEGS, usually the technical vocational institution, and the special one, yun ang mga military, national defense, ganyan. Okay, now, the CHED topology, and with all due respect to the CHED friends here, the CHED topology is not very helpful. Okay, why? It only presents the administrative angle. Who creates, who runs, and who finances public HEIs, and completely ignores what to me is essential, the nature of the educational institution. There are other ways to describe the types of HEIs from the point of view of the institution's nature and goal. For example, okay, we got it, Roel. Junior community colleges, and you have vocational technical institutes, or you have undergraduate universities teaching, graduate universities and research universities. I propose we create an entirely new typology that reflects diverse educational missions instead of lumping all sorts of HEIs under a single category. The SUC, or if it's created by local government, the LUC. This one-size-fits-all system, you know, the panel and I, we think alike. We use the same language. What happened to us? And we weren't writing together. This one-size-fits-all system has not worked to our benefit because all it does is support or reinforce the status quo. It is anti-change. Its manner of coping with change is to simply accept each new legislated creation under existing administrative categories without regard for substance. Under the present free-size system, almost anything goes. And this system will not do in the 21st century. In contrast, a system differentiated according to the nature of the educational institution will allow us to imagine an entire range of educational types, each of which we are at liberty to define and design so that we can determine the extent of diversification that would suit the needs and goals of our country and our communities. How many research universities do we need, for example? Must all undergraduate universities be comprehensive? Do we need one in every region? How would a 2-year program prepare the high school graduate for employment and other life skills? The present system of classifying HEIs by their creators does not invite questions like these that are central to the higher education system. The differentiated system I propose is not, however, stratified, because, as the UK experience has shown, stratification tends to produce marked disparities in quality and learning opportunities for students. I prefer to call the new HEI system heteronymous, Greek word. That means because its parts have different functions and develop differently, yet they all belong to the whole. Under this system, standards are to be set by category. Okay, for faculty recruitment, academic programs, student performance, blah, blah, blah. So that HEIs are compared within and not across categories. So it doesn't matter if you're a junior college, you don't compete with a research university. You are matched with other junior colleges. A heteronymous system is not inflexible but nuanced and is open to modification according to our need and direction. Am I asking too much? Well, yes and no. Yes, because I am aware of political realities, bureaucratic constraints, vested interests, and policymakers who are allergic to change or are plainly inept. But no, I'm not dreaming, because these realities and constraints are not permanent. And in any case, the decision is ours to keep them the way they are or to change them. Moreover, experiences of other countries show that a variety of HEIs works. Many community colleges abroad have been successful, taking in fresh graduates and adults out of work wanting to learn new things. These junior colleges enable students to move on to university if they so desire, or prepare them for a job. Everyone can and must continue to learn after high school, but not everyone is cut out for a 4-year degree. A heteronomous system will be able to respond to a greater variety of needs and goals of young and adult learners and serve a larger population because not all of them will be crammed into a single type of institution. By creating an array of HEIs, legislators and local governments will finally have options.